what this is about is whatever room you're in, whatever convening function you've got, you have a chance to initiate an alternative story every single time we gather. So the big question, the big point is about transformation. Everybody loves the idea of transformation. Change management is a big thing in the world. Every candidate runs for office. It says, vote for me, and you have all this rhetoric about big changes. I will keep you safe. I will make you healthy. The core point here is that all transformation is linguistic.
If we change the stories we keep telling ourselves, we change in response to the new stories.
But all real change begins and entails a shift in narrative. That the challenges we feel in a country, in a community, in a school, in a business, is the narrative they're living into isn't working for them. But we get so wedded to our narrative, to our story, to our version of how I got here, or what those people are doing, that we stay stuck. And we can say transformation all we want, but it won't occur unless I find somehow the capacity to change the story that I think is true. I love the quote that says, in Russia, even the past is unpredictable. And I heard that and I thought, wow, that's true about my life also. I've got a long story about this age and this stage and that person and that wife and all this kind of stuff I can talk about. And at some point I realized it's just story. It's a social construction. It's a narrative. And so if you care about transformation of a school building, if you care about a neighborhood coming to life, you care about business turning a corner, or caring for a customer, or caring about the community, mostly what you hear in the transformation domain is lip service. It's a dream, it's an intention. And what I want to do is try to get very specific about what a change in narrative, what a change in story entails, and how to make that happen. It's doable. But you have to get the idea that whatever story I think is true is I made up to give meaning to events in my life. The events were true, but the meaning I gave to it, that was what changes over time. And you don't have to wait till you get my age to realize it was just a story. At any stage you can do that. And so these idea of 6 conversations are really pathways to accountability, because most of my story make me a victim or make me guilty. Most of my story about what those people, for years in organizations, you don't understand what it's like around here. Top management this, top management that. Some people like their boss, but the boss's boss, you can't do anything around here. Neighborhoods say, well, the people in this neighborhood are so, you can't trust them. Story, story, story. Either I feel guilty, oh, I shouldn't have done that. I made a mistake in my 18th year. I really should have been more open. I should have said yes when I said no. I should have said no when I said yes. Once you realize, if these are stories, then I have the capacity to transform my life in a minute, in an hour, in a day, in a month. I have the capacity to create an alternative story that is as true as the one I'm letting go, because the one I'm letting go, I wouldn't be interested in if it was working. A friend of mine, Peter Kestenbaum, says, we're all wounded at the moment of birth. And I thought, really? And I had such a relief when I heard that, because I was working on myself till I met Peter Kestenbaum. He gave me a different narrative. He said, my anxiety, my loneliness, my isolation, my this, my that, all my story, he said, is part of being human. And when he said that, I thought, I guess my project is over. I don't have to work on my deficiency anymore. I'm just a human being. What's keeping us stuck in the neighborhood, what's keeping me stuck in the school and the business is we think we are doing engagement. We're not doing engagement. Basically, somebody's speaking, other people are gathered listening as if someone speaking is the point. And then any questions? That's not a town meeting. It's not engagement. Engagement is when you get peers, citizens, students, employees together with each other engaged in these 6 conversations.
Real engagement uses conversation among peers to find the common ground that moves us forward.
So leadership becomes a convening function. Right now, the old story is we need somebody up front and a lot of people listening. Some people use PowerPoint now, so you know ahead of time what you're going to say, which means that you're as bored as everybody else in the room. And so we have this model of engagement, which is up front matters. Good speaker, good preacher. Oops, why do you go to that church? Great sermon on Sunday morning. And so we have such low expectations of the current ways we come together. I want to talk about, well, how do we turn that upside down?